Her name was Clara Kingsley, heir to one of the richest families in New York. Beautiful, polished, and trained to smile even when she wanted to scream. For years, her life had been managed by others, her father's business expectations, society's rules, the headlines that painted her as cold and perfect. But deep down, she just wanted to be seen for who she truly was, not a name, not a face on a magazine cover, but a woman with fears, flaws, and dreams. When her best friend set her up on a blind date, she hesitated. "Come on, Clara," her friend had insisted, "for once, don't Google him first. Just go." Clara agreed, needing something, anything, to remind her she was still alive beyond the cameras and boardrooms. That night, she dressed simply for once, a soft sweater, her hair down, no driver, no bodyguards. The cafe was small, tucked away in a quiet corner of town. But as she sat waiting, her phone buzzed. "Sorry, can't make it tonight." The message hit like a slap. For the first time, the heiress sat alone, invisible, unwanted, and humiliated. Anger burned in her chest. She got up, grabbed her coat, and rushed outside into the pouring rain. But as she stepped onto the slick street, a car came speeding around the corner, headlights blinding, horn blaring. And then, darkness. When Clara opened her eyes, the world was quiet except for the sound of heavy breathing and a man's voice saying, "You're safe. Just breathe." His jacket was wrapped around her, rain dripping from his hair. He was tall, rugged, and clearly not from her world, his clothes plain, his hands calloused, his eyes full of worry. "I'm Ethan," he said gently. "You almost got hit. I couldn't just let you." She blinked, still dazed. "You saved me?" He smiled awkwardly. "Guess I was in the right place at the right time." That was how they met, not through status or money, but through something painfully real: fear, vulnerability, and kindness. Ethan lived in a nearby small town, working 2 jobs to support his 6-year-old daughter, Mia. His wife had passed away 3 years ago, leaving him to raise their little girl alone. Life wasn't easy, but he made it work, through hard days, longer nights, and the kind of love that didn't need wealth to shine. When Clara insisted on thanking him, he invited her for coffee at a local diner. She expected awkwardness, but instead found warmth, the kind of laughter that came easily, without pretense. Mia ran to her, clutching a crayon drawing. "Daddy says you're brave," the little girl said. "Are you a princess?" Clara chuckled softly. "Not quite. Maybe just a lost one." Days turned into weeks. Clara found excuses to visit again, bringing books for Mia, helping Ethan with small errands, and learning how to cook simple meals that didn't come from a chef's kitchen. For the first time, she found peace in the ordinary: the smell of pancakes in the morning, the sound of rain on the roof, the way Ethan's eyes softened when she smiled. But the fairy tale couldn't last forever. When the media found out that the Kingsley heiress was spending time with a small-town mechanic, headlines exploded. Her father demanded she end it. "He's beneath you, Clara. You're ruining our family's name." Ethan overheard. He didn't argue, didn't beg. He simply said, "You don't owe me anything, Clara. I'm just grateful you're safe." That broke her. Because for once, someone wanted nothing from her. No money, no fame, no favor, just her. She left that night torn between 2 worlds, one she'd been born into, and one she'd found by accident but couldn't forget. Weeks passed. Ethan went back to his quiet life, telling Mia that sometimes, even good stories end. But every night, when he tucked her in, she'd ask, "Daddy, is the princess coming back?" One evening, he came home to find Mia standing at the window, eyes wide. "Daddy, look." Outside, under the soft glow of the porch light, stood Clara, drenched in rain again, but smiling through tears. "You once said you were in the right place at the right time," she said, stepping closer. "Maybe I was, too." Ethan hesitated, his voice low. "Your world's not meant for someone like me." She shook her head. "Maybe my world was wrong all along." And then, for the first time, she didn't care who was watching. She wrapped her arms around him, around the man who'd saved her once, and now saved her again, from loneliness, from fear, from herself. Months later, Clara left the city's glamour behind. She opened a community art center in Ethan's town, teaching kids to dream beyond their limits. The heiress became a mentor, a mother figure to those who'd never had one. Every morning, she'd wake to the sound of Mia's laughter, to Ethan's quiet hum as he made breakfast, and to a peace she'd never known in penthouses or private jets.